I remember watching the 2011 NBA Finals Game 4 meltdown from LeBron with you in a bank in Brooklyn underneath a Kanye West show. I've watched some weird NBA Finals games with you over the years. Where have been some of the strange places you've watched Super Bowls because you were a Patriots fan in New York City all those years?
Yeah, it was pretty hard. My family hates me. I mean, not because of that, but also because of that, in addition to some other things. But yeah, it was really hard. I mean, I come from a family of Jet fans. My dad wears like a 4X Kevin Mawai jersey. I mean, these guys are real dirtbags, and they were, really wanted to disown me. I mean, look, it's when I went to, I went to sort of an artistic school in New York, not a lot of sports fans when I was in middle school, and at Jewish summer camp, obviously where a young Jewish boy learns everything he knows, I was with a bunch of guys from North Attleboro, Massachusetts, and, they were diehard Teddy Bruschi fans. I picked it up, and, I entered into I made an absolutely horrible choice in the summer of 95 that I can now not go back on. And I can never undo the past, but it's been really, really hard. Yeah, I have a lot of trauma. I feel like now I'm talking to my therapist. Like, this is good, actually.
Josh Ostrovsky joins the show at The Fat Jewish on Instagram. For people who follow you, on Instagram now, which is like 11 million people on Earth, which is just so stupid. When did you start to notice that it was like making a change? I remember going to Knick games with you, and it started to be, a thing that you were at the game. So when did you start to feel your life starting to change from Instagram?
Well, all right, I'm gonna go back one. I'm gonna tell you real quick my weirdest Super Bowl viewing story. Went to the south of France. I was invited by some Saudi Arabian guys. I used to have a thing where if you DM'd me and I had a time in my schedule, I would basically go and do whatever you invited me to. Not for money, just to make memories. And so, I got myself in some very weird situations, but I wanted to meet new people and have weird experiences, and people invite me to all kinds of bizarre stuff, and they think I'm not going to respond. Because they think with an account as big as mine that I'm never going to see it. So they get drunk, and they're like, you're never going to see this. You're the worst. And then I'm like, actually, I read all my DMs because I'm a pettyweight champion, and I saw this, and I'm down to roast you. And so these guys from the Middle East invited me. I flew out to France. I went on a yacht. They actually had an ostrich on their yacht. They're like, do you want to see something crazy? And I go downstairs. They have a live ostrich on the boat. And the ostrich's name, I'm not kidding you, was Bradley Cooper, because they were a huge Bradley Cooper fans, American actor Bradley Cooper. And I then sat on a boat with an ostrich and watched the Super Bowl with them on like a 100-inch flat screen. And I'm looking around going, they flew me out there, and I'm going, where am I? Like, this seems like a very questionable decision. So Instagram has led me to a lot of wild places. I'm trying to think, like I remember I was in the West Village, and I was kind of day drunk. I had been, kind of doing sort of a Sex and the City brunch style. And someone ran up to me and put their hands over my eyes from behind and was like, yes, oh. And I was like, what is happening? I was kind of schmacked, and I turned around, and it was Fran Drescher. And I think in that moment I realized, like, wow, people are really seeing this stuff. Like, you kind of, when you have a big account, you post and you think it's just for your idiotic friends, like you, but you don't realize Fran Drescher's looking too. And sometimes when I think about it, it makes me nervous. I'm like, is Fran going to like this? What if Fran unfollows me? Like, what if Fran hates this? Because she's an icon and should be on Mount Rushmore. And I think at that moment, I realized, wow, this is really, really wild.
No, that was like your Giannis getting the MVP last night and the championship. Finally, a culmination of work, a lifetime of sacrifice. The nanny came up to you after brunching in Soho. Ben Lyons here on the Rich Eisen Show, joined by Josh Ostrovsky. Where were you when you found out the news that Carmelo went to Portland?
I don't know. Only you would know that, you psycho. Nobody cared about that. Like, he needs to hire you. The amount of the amount of pub you're doing for this guy. Like, I wake up at first of all, it's 8 o'clock in the morning in New York. It's 5 in LA. I don't know why you're up. And you're sending me a text being like, did you know, fun fact of the morning, Carmelo Anthony is the leader in all time in Team USA minutes logged when the team registered a win of more than 10 points. And I'm like, it doesn't literally matter. The guy went to one Western Conference final. He's a trash man. You are doing constant PR for this guy. The day he came to the Knicks, you cried in a bar.
I'm sorry. I have a photo of you eating a sandwich named after him with Lala at the Carnegie Deli. So let's challenge flag on the field right now.
Hold on. When you're with an American hero like Lala Anthony, okay, I'm a huge Lala fan. Am I not allowed to split the two? And she put me on the spot. By the way, you put a pastrami sandwich in a fat Jewish guy's face, and then as it was in my mouth, you went, "This is called the Carmelo Anthony." And what was I going to do? I couldn't disrespect him like that, although honestly, I really wanted to, because outside of Amari Stoudemire, who, by the way, I don't know if you now know he's a rabbi and a farmer, there's really no Nick that I've ever hated more. And you know that, sir.
No, I know. I know you've had some encounters with Amari down in the meatpacking district, and it wasn't in a wine spa. I'll tell you that. Josh, I appreciate you joining the show. You think we'll get a Knicks title in our lifetime?
All right, Ben. It's been great. Thanks so much.
Josh
Thanks so much for having me. Honestly, Rich Eisen, you're a beautiful man. And the answer to your question is absolutely not. Although, look, we do have the 20th pick. So, what's going to happen this year? It's going to be magical.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.